Is darts a real sport? See if your opinion hits the bullseye and agrees with the bar talk on the Brew.
Hey, darts! You see them in every bar, perfect for a bar talk show, but is darts considered a sport?
I would not personally consider darts a sport. I think it's a really fun game, but it's kind of like one of the other, like, either bar or like house party type games. It's something to do to pass the time, and yes, there are people who are really, really, really good with them. I even went and played darts recently in September, but unfortunately I broke my arm and I'm right-handed, so I had to throw lefty. And you know what? It was still fun. It's still like a real fun novelty game, but maybe not after like more than like 3 drinks.
Whoa, okay. Yeah, it gets a little, your aim's a little off after one too many beverages after you've been overserved, yeah. Not that we would know anything about that.
Yeah.
But do I consider darts a sport? I'm going to say yes, and there's 2 reasons. Number 1, it's televised, and number 2, they wear jerseys. So I think that classifies sport. They get that new sport there. They get that new sport there in Vegas, that slap league now. That thing is televised. So once you get to that point where you've got like sponsors and you're on TV, I think that constitutes a sport because there's also a skill involved.
There's skills involved in beer pong. Is beer pong a sport? Also, Joe, you're televised and you're on TV sometimes. I think your stipulations are funny. I like it.
That's true, and I wear a jersey too, so okay. But it's not for.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not for darts. All right. Yeah. Hey, when's the last time you said the last time you played darts was in September?
Yeah, it was recently, but before that, it was probably when you and I did.
Yeah, back in Laughlin after the pandemic, that one casino where the one guy wouldn't leave us alone. Remember that?
Yeah. Okay, so like my part of that story, right after I'll tell the people that weren't there because me and Joe just did this little mini road trip out to Laughlin, Nevada. And we're just like, it was right after the pandemic was like, vaccines came out, so they opened everything back up. So we went down there and we were playing darts. And me and Joe were just having fun shooting. We're both competitive. We want to beat each other. We were both doing well. I think I won 2 to 3 games, but it was really hard to beat you. And some dude that we don't know came up and started chatting with us. And I'm like, dude, we are here to hang out with each other. We don't want to talk to you. We are in the middle of playing a game and drinking a beer. And as I'm like giving him these short answers to like try and get him to leave us alone, he's like, hey man, can I do a celebrity shot? And I was like, and Joe can tell you his version of this too. I was like, no. And then I shot. Like I just went right back to shooting. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? You're a stranger. We don't know you, and we just paid to play this game, and you're asking us for it. Nah, dude, you can wait in line like everybody else and go to a different dartboard and pay for yourself.
Yeah, it was a little weird. He was way too close. He was interrupting our game, and I mean, he was just by himself. And fine, you want to watch because you and I were carrying on. You know, we have a good time no matter where we go. So I mean, I'm sure there's a reason. Right. But he like read the room, dude. We're in the middle. Like we were a couple rounds into the game. It wasn't like we were just starting. Like it's we were having beers, having a good time. The also thing what I didn't like about that, it was literally we just opened from COVID, and he's like a little too close. I'm like, I don't know you, and you want to throw darts like little. And he wasn't drunk. He was just a little off. So, but he
was off, and he clearly was missing something in the social cue of like, hey, if they give you 3 one-word answers in a row, f*** off.
I know it's just a little, but you never know who you're running to in a bar, and that's kind of what happened there. So, that's our story about darts. But it was a good time up until that point. But back to our topic, our viewers. So, do you guys think darts is a sport? Starman says, it must be a sport if they show it on cable sports channels. Gino says, I throw darts in my garage, but I don't take it that seriously. I do think there's a lot of skills and concentration needed to do it well, but ultimately it is a game that you play to relax. So he's saying it's a skill like I was saying earlier. To me, that kind of sounds like he's talking, you could also say golf is the same way.
We're getting into that blurry, we're getting into the blurry, it's kind of like, the lines are kind of gray area, blurred lines. It's hard to make a real strong distinction. Like it kind of goes into bowling, the NASCAR, like Joe just said, golf. Golf's a little more, I think golf's pretty much universally accepted as a sport, but the point is it's mostly a skill, but it's not necessarily that athletic.
I mean, darts in America don't have a league to level of the PGA, but they do overseas, and Milsey's going to tell you that right now because he says huge in the UK, big Christmas World Championships. I mean, darts in the UK are so big, they're televised here in the US too, but it gets point they're measuring measuring. I'm like, throw the damn thing already. I can't handle just watching this dude. But I do enjoy the fact that they start knocking back the cold ones after that too. So I mean, it's a different spectacle.
Right. Yeah, we come from totally different areas of the country. We come from different areas of the world when we're talking about this. It's more popular out there. But if Millsy and if Sean out there was having a show about baseball, then with him and his buddies, they would have a completely different perspective than you and I do.
Yep, we're Americans.
Man, yeah.
We are angry taxpayers that prove it. But speaking of proving things, let's get to the poll right now. So, do you guys think darts is a real sport? Well, 86% of angry taxpayers say yes, it actually is. 14% say no. And actually, I can't call them angry taxpayers because this poll is international. But 86% of people, whoever took this poll globally, say, all right, guys, stop arguing about it. It's a sport.
Okay. Hey, you know what? If everybody agrees, it's cool. I don't have to be the person that's right. Just as it's an unpopular opinion, oh well. But it definitely falls into the blurred line of like, if you're a sport, you're barely a sport.
I like the fact, though, you can play this sport while you knock back a few cold ones. Just don't drink and drive, but it's a good time in a pub nonetheless. I do like the electronic dartboards better when you play that and it counts up for you because, I don't know, it's a little fun. You get some flashing lights, like a little modern, kind of nice.
Right. Yeah, they're fun. You can definitely put some flair behind it.
Yep. As it put some flair in it, just please don't put out your buddy's eye. That's our tip for the week. All right. Well, thanks for all your great comments, and Jersey Joe and I am saying thanks for watching, and hey, we'll see you next time, I hope.
Streaming now on an all-new Kicking Back with Jersey Joe. More funny and crazy 911 calls and citizen app alerts from New York City.